Hi, I'm back to do a new video. About a couple of years ago, I did a video sitting on my sofa over here, and I was very distraught over a situation of racism in Massachusetts and had been to do with housing and the Boston police and how they protect the privileged. So I wanted to do was to give you a follow-up and an update of what's been happening since. Now, I have constantly made phone calls to the governor's office. Miss Haley, I don't refer to her as Governor Haley. I don't think she deserves that title. And I don't know too much about the mayor, but I have visited her office twice. And the hostility that I felt there was like, she can't get involved. Now, I'm going to just point to something that, because I like to talk about something I talk about. Now, this was the previous mayor, Mayor Marty Watt. He went through my mother's museum. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff here, her heritage stuff. And I have a picture on the wall over there taken with him. But some of this is in my video. If you want to know about that video, please go to YouTube, Beverly McLeod versus Peabody Properties and the Boston Police Department. And I just want to touch bases on what's been happening since then. The situation with the false police report is that there's no accountability. Now, Mayor Marty Watt signed into effect before he left office in 2021 an accountability effect, executive order for police accountability. During that time, Miss Haley was our Attorney General, and in her office you have issues of police conduct and reports of anything, I think sort of like that, you would have to go through her office. And I tried to go through the Civil Rights Department. I filled out 4 applications online, and I never heard from anyone. But my son got a phone call, and that's talked about in that video as well, so I don't want to do repeats. But anyway, we talked about police officers and police corruption in Massachusetts. And this cop falsified a police report, and I think that's the reason why they don't want to do anything, because if he falsifies a police report, there's no telling how many other police reports he falsified. Now, it's pretty bold to put myself out there like this, but I'm going to put myself out even more, because if you watch the video, you can hear me talk about these incidents. I'm not going into details other than what happened when I went to court. Now, this Detective Becker, according to what I've been fighting the governor's office and the mayor's office is police accountability. So if they're not doing anything, then it's okay for this detective to create his own charge, because he never spoke with me, never came and tried to interview any witnesses. He decided on his own that he's gonna pick a charge, which he did. And the charge, like I said on the video, was assault with a deadly weapon, my door. Now, the assault happened during a crime, because under the state of Massachusetts, they're not allowed to come to my door without giving me 24-hour notice. So therefore, they were in the commission of a crime, and then they assaulted me with my door. And this detective decided that he was gonna say that because they're privileged, and hey, I'm just a black woman, and there's no credibility coming out of my mouth, just decided that I was lying. And that's a shame. So we got my case thrown out, and also I'm going to let people know that Peabody Properties perjured themselves, because they were trying to get me evicted, you know, for cigarette smokes and that magic window behind me. Anyway, they lied to the judge. When the judge asked them, they said, he wasn't knocking on her door because of cigarette smokes with him. They said in the courtroom, oh, no, we got a detection of a fire. They were smelling fire. Okay. But I don't have no credibility, even with the video showing that. So if you're a governor and a mayor of a state, shouldn't you be for all people and not just protect the police and the people that are getting federal government money, like $483 million to put in these luxury buildings to abuse people? I worked all my life and to abuse people like this, only to rezone these areas after we built all of these buildings up to make them so affordable by the state that we can't afford to live in them anymore. Because right now my rent is $2,900. Okay. Not only that, getting back to the mayor and the governor, she was in charge of MCAD. Now, if the owners are willing to tell MCAD that they fired Peabody Properties for the racial hate crime, this was happening, and I pressured them. I said, why can't y'all make a decision? You know what the decision they made? They closed the case. They wouldn't take my, what was it? I signed a release from Boston Legal Services, Boston Housing Authority, my primary doctor, and another doctor. They didn't want no evidence. And then when I asked for an appeal, they said, well, I didn't do it in the timeline, but there was an email that I said I wanted an appeal. And I also told this recently to the governor's office, and she had someone call me and called over them because they called me, said the governor's office is scheduled, we give you an appeal. They still haven't given me a date for appeal. I checked up on it and there's still nothing regarding an appeal. So this is the kind of crookedness and corruption that's going on in Massachusetts. Let me go out my door, and I'm an animal lover. The cops that were here yesterday, my cats couldn't get up off of them. They're so friendly. If I would go out here and shoot a raccoon, I'm not shoot, but shoot, or kick a dog, I'm going to jail. But you can cause me to have panic attacks and all of that stuff and sit there in your office and laugh at me and cover this up and consider yourself in a state office to protect everybody, and you're protecting crooks. And if you're not part of the situation, then you yourself are part of the crime. And I'm not afraid to say so, because this has got to stop. It's not just people of color, but it's also the poor whites that $483 million is supposed to go to. Them people are still lined up down around the corner down there by the hospital, because, I mean, some of that money could go for big tents and security and portable toilets and just get them off the sidewalk. Hello? Oh my God. But anyway, I want to find out who your opponents are running from you, because I want this story to be available for them. So there is a police video yesterday that was done in my apartment, and the police did get the chance so I could redo my story again on that police video, because they wanted to be nosy why the property manager had to be here. So if I'm lying about anything, sue me. But for a detective of Boston to invent his own crime? Oh, matter of fact, he did come to the building, but he went to talk to the property manager. He wanted to interview her. He said, that this is, they so stupid. She come back to me, she said, yeah. She wrote it to MCAD, saying, yeah. He said, he asked me, do you know why I'm here? And she said, yes. And she says, well, in May, I'm getting ready to go away and have an operation. No, May, I wasn't here, I was having an operation. So he decided to say that there's something mental wrong with me, and that's discrimination. So that's all in my report, too. And so they blocked that out too. So Greater Boston Legal Services said that, well, that comment is discrimination. My doctor said that comment is discrimination. But there's no protection for black females and other minorities in the state of Massachusetts. Like I said, we're a Republican state disguised in a Democratic title because they're not. I'm not even going to go there with them. I can't do that. But anyway, this detective that invented his own charge, and if they're saying that police officers can do this, and I'm not worth there, maybe they put a lot of other people behind bars because they can do this, and rather than stir the pot, they want to keep pushing this under the corner, under the covers. Well, I'm pulling back the blankets and I'm taking off the sheets because I'm not going anywhere still. And I do want to close out and saying I really would like to know if somebody else is going for these election offices to let me know, because if you want to run a campaign, I'd like for you to run on my story. Good night, America. Good night, world.